Don't know if anybody's out there. It's not the best time of the day to be online, but I just finished a meditation. So I want to share what I got, some more clarity to help people. So let's see, because it says, hi. Hi. Let me just share this. I don't know if I'm able to. Actually, it's not the right time I'm supposed to do this. Who's there? So I want to give you some clarity. What I got now in meditation, which is really interesting actually. So this will help a bit. So I'm going into some detail. Our perception of light and dark is very warped because we were, in a lower dimension, in a lower state of awareness and whatever else. So I've got quite a few things to share with you. How we work, how our chakras are actually working, how we're actually interpreting things and reading, whatever. So what I got now, trying to maybe it'll help a bit. So I'd rather share it now because I forget things otherwise. If I don't, come out of my meditation, I'll share it straight away. So what they were trying to show me is this misinterpretation of dark and light. Because we were taught by the church it's something, there's some boogie, this thing hiding in the closet that's going to harm you and all this nonsense, right? As they say, fear is an illusion. It is an illusion, actually. Okay, strange things. All right. So basically it's an illusion, and it is an illusion. So what we are, and I've mentioned this before, but not in so much detail. I mentioned it, I did a live about this, I don't know, a year or so ago and I uploaded it to YouTube. So we all know all that is the universe, all that is one, right? And even Bashar, I think what made me sort of question this, I think I was listening to a very good one from Bashar last night, a very, very interesting one. And because as you worked your way through and you kind of realize, okay, what's going on, you just get more and more awareness and knowledge, put it that way. So as he was saying, you realize it, look around you, right? And often even Crown says, there's no such thing as darkness. It's just an absence of light. And this is where we were sitting. It's an absence of a light. But it's within us because we were in such a dark, dense energy. We were vibrating like a rock. Our body, our cells, our thing was vibrating at such a slow thing, so we were in a very dense energy, put it that way. So we were vibrating at a very slow rate, like a rock is, different rates. It's hard, it becomes solid, right? So we were on a very slow, dense energy vibrating. So this is why there was a bit of an absence of, of light. So we fell into that state to develop the logical, analytical mind, okay? And now we were taught, and because we fell into that state, of course we didn't. Everything was fear. We had to fear the darkness, and this is actually nonsense. And people are really battling. The people that fear the darkness more, it persists even more. What you resist persists. All it is look into the night sky. Howsy as an example I was showing. Look into the night sky. Look how beautifully the star shines. It is a choice. So what we perceive as even Abraham, you can listen to many people. Abraham Hicks, I don't know who you listen, it doesn't matter. You'll find that theme and the pattern they're trying to explain, maybe in a different way, but all the same. So what you consider as light, as dark, it's not. It's, as she says, it's just contrast. It's a choice. You've always had the power. You fearing it is what keeps drawing it to you. So what we fear is making the wrong choice. Actually, because you're in control, you have nothing to fear. So all you're doing is frightened of, oh my gosh, I'm going to choose the bad thing, I'm going to choose to do the wrong thing. That's actually all it is. So the thoughts, everything is a choice. Think of everything as just a pure choice, right? You are fearing a choice because all these things come into your mind. It depends on your frequency. There's a lot of it is frequency. So when you're vibrating in your body, your density, your cells, your being is vibrating at a very slow, which we were, third dimensional, very slow density, speed, vibration. So there's more density, you see less light. So that's contrast. If there was no darkness, there would be no light. And because the darkness, it makes the light, so it reflects the light even more. So it's beautiful. Look at, there's an example, look outside. when you have a dark, dark sky without, if you go away from the city and you go into the desert, when you've got no outside, it's amazing. I've seen it. I've never seen such clear stars in my life. So when you go into the desert and it's really clear and you haven't got city pollution, light pollution they call it, the stars, it's like incredible. They are so clear and so bright. Now this is what it is. Source, the darkness and light, like I said before, but not in such detail on my thing. There's no such thing as good and bad. It's all one as part of source. When you're out of the non-physical, all one consciousness, one energy, one being, God, source, universe, right? It works together in harmony. Now that allows the light to shine. It's like you can be good, right? If someone wasn't bad, how could you help them? How could you be a healer? How could you be a savior? Everything is only a choice. See? So when you are in a darker, denser energy and what you are doing is a lesson. This is just a lesson you are learning. It's discernment. You are fearing it. Because you are fearing it and resisting it, you think it's bad. Oh, there's no... It is more present in your existence, like you're being hounded to learn. It's like a lesson. It's going to torment you to learn. Hey, it's a bit of bullshit. Let this go. All it is pure, what you would say, choices. People are making the different... They're just choosing, maybe to do wrong. You're choosing, what you would say is a lower... It's just disconnected. So the slower your density, right, the less you're away from the light, the more, you choose the wrong things. That's all it is. It's a contrast. So we can play. You can choose whatever you want. But as source, it all exists in harmony together. There is no, bad intent, nastiness, whatever. These are contrasts. Everything's out there and you choose. If we didn't have it, there would be no light. It just wouldn't work. You know what I mean? Look how beautiful it is, the universe. We've got that, we've got that contrast. Like everywhere you look, we've got contrast, right? Dry, wet, dark, light. So the sky, that darkness, what you perceive as darkness, it's just light, just different variations. It makes the stars shine so nicely. So what you fear as humans is what you think is dark is a lot of rubbish that's been fed into your mind anyway, because we were in a lower consciousness and in a state of awareness of who we actually are and how things work. So we believed, oh, there's things out there. This has been fed. There's been fed a lot of fear and darkness has been fed into humanity now to keep your consciousness lower. You see, things are controlling you, and there's bad things out there, and there's just changed now. It's got different forms. That's bad. This is all to keep your consciousness lower because you are limitless. And nothing has power over you. It's just choices. Every single thing is a choice. There we are. It's a choice. A belief is a choice. What you do. So the more you raise up, and as soon as you let go of the fear of what you think is the darkness, and just accept, because what you are doing is rejecting part of source, which in fact then is actually a part of you. So whatever you reject, you'll never be whole. You're going to keep having an issue. So if you understand you have nothing to fear, the darkness is just a choice. There's nothing to fear. It's just a choice. Then the whole fear drops away. It's an illusion. You're fearing the darkness is an illusion. It was making it. It's actually what's creating the fear itself. The minute you just accept, okay, because you understand now, like the night sky, everything is part of Source, the Creator. Everything was created. It's all one. Every bit of energy that exists is form. Science proves it in that dish when they took a photon or whatever, a light photon, which is your cell, say a cell from the body, the smallest atom, and they separated them, and they did one push it, shone light, the other one knew. This is how we can know all that is. This is how we can tap into all knowledge and be connected to everything. We can read everything, we can communicate, we can see things throughout time and space. Your pineal gland is the magic button, is the magic thing. This is how we do it, because factually, because we were all part, they know whatever was part one, it's like a holograph, whichever, once upon a time, all that energy was one, or comes from source, right? So, it is all actually connected. So no matter where it is in the universe, one knows what the other one's doing. You are all one. You can't ever, you'll always be. So the same thing when you want to meditate. You cannot be disconnected. You are physically, you were part of source. So you can access as an energy that was once one, everything that's in the universe, okay? So the actual fear of darkness is what's keeping, is the illusion. And when you fear it, the minute you stop fearing it and understand, it is there, so you can choose what to do, play, choice, no, hot, cold, no, this, that, dark, scary, no, whatever. Every single choice, everything you interpret through, it's just an interpretation. You can understand there would be no light if there was no darkness. We would have no beautiful night sky. We would have no bright white stars. We would have no candle. You know, if you put the light switch on, oops, it wouldn't work. There would be nothing if everything was the same light. You know what I mean? So it's purely just contrast. You've been, you know, when you're in the lower thing, you've been taught to fear. Oh my gosh, it's actually absolute nonsense, actually. You can choose whatever you want because you are in control. They just don't want you to realize it's to keep you from realizing how powerful and how, you know, there's nothing actually. That's it. It's just a choice. Everything you believe, everything is a choice. So there we are. It's an illusion. And the minute you do that, it will not bother you. You see, it will fall away. Your fear will fall away. You won't be bothered and hounded. Some people say, oh, these things are being... It's actually because it's delusion, because we are rejecting part of source, which is part of you. So you're actually rejecting a part of you because you don't understand it. See? Yeah. So there is only, see, and there's no such thing as good and bad. It's just choices. See? And some of us choose. Now, if you chose to experience something here, it's part of your evolution. How would you choose to be good or help or be like an NGO or be one of these people if there was no one that needed your help? You see? It's just part of your game. It's part of learning. It's part of an experience. So there we are. Okay, then there's another thing. What I wanted to find out was a bit more about the chakras and which one we need, because I think I told people that, you know, that they were cleaning out the bottom ones and we're not going to be using these lower ones when we're going forward, which is your root, whatever, those base chakras. And it actually makes sense anyway, but I'm not going to get too much detail because it might be a bit out there yet for some people. So I asked about these and how it's working, because think about it, we're reading people's auras. We all know energy, like Taurus field. Now people are starting to realize, okay, we've got chakras and this is what you're reading depending on what people are. So some people's energy is very red and they have a lot of red, you know, in their energy, whatever. Now whatever active in their field is going to show up in their auric field or energy. Well, it does, shows you when I uploaded it. So how active is your energy field, right? So when people, and I've seen it before, have a very red energy, like, wow, then you know it's all about control, power. They're in that root chakra. Oh, the darkest, densest, lowest, you know, the real, it's the part of the ego that's the most, or the part of the, you know, when you drop into this human game or separation from source game, when you drop into that, it's the lowest. It's about control, fear, manipulation, ego, very, 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 you know, where a lot of, where you find your consciousness of war also is there. So when you see people like anger, rage, any of those things, you'll see they're holding any of those, they're feeling any of those, you will see red in their aura when it's in there. Here's another thing I just let you know. When you are feeling, when you've activated that frequency, because your aura will never stay the same, it changes. Your energy will, you can see it, depends on what you're doing. So whatever you're thinking about at the time, you've activated that frequency that will reflect in your energy. So now I'm thinking of something which is not so good, right? That color and that frequency will be reflected. That's how we can read, you can perceive people's energies, people's intent, because I'm going to get into a bit more detail. So this is what it is, all right? This is the heart, because what you feel, what is radiated out comes from the heart. So when you are feeling love, hate, that is the heart chakra. What you're reading, actually, that Taurus field, that auric field, is being radiated out from the heart. How's this? This is what I was showing, because I asked them, give me more of a picture. You know, you want to see a movie explain, right? So what I was shown, this is interesting. You are just an antenna. Your pineal gland, as everyone knows, is the most important piece of it's probably the most important thing in the human body, actually. Is their point being, otherwise you'll be an animal. So basically, so you've got your pineal gland. This is your antenna, your receiver, your transmitter. It's the one that's interpreting everything. Frequency, vibration, energy, everything, because that's all there is, energy and frequency and vibration. So you are interpreting all frequencies and vibrations out there, coming from other people, whatever it is, right? Now, when you know what made me question this? I'm going to give you some things which is interesting, because when I do affirmations of people, and I feel when you say that, and you're feeling the energy, and you feel joy. When I first feel, guess where you feel? Say that, and you feel. Guess, and that's everyone said. Your solar plexus, your solar, and even Abraham Hicks hinted, this is the where you would interpret your energies, gut feeling. See, the gut feeling. Guess what was shown to me? This is interesting actually now makes sense. So your pineal gland is out there, tick, 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 and it's picking up. Say now Joe Blob is walking down the road. My pineal, I'm like checking him out, or I'm in his field, whatever, I'm focusing on him. Whatever you focus on, there we are, is what you're going to be, picking up. So I'm focusing on Joe Blob, who's just walking over there, right? That information is transmitted. So your pineal gland is the transmitter, receiver. It's picking up. So everything goes to the pineal gland. Then it comes through the mind, okay? It's how the system works. I'll try and explain it to you how it's shown, right? So, tick, 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 the radar, the signal gets picked up. Everything is frequencies. Everything, anything, everyone's emitting. Every rock, every thought, every person is emitting a frequency. Your pineal gland, your third eye, whatever, is picking it up. Bunk. Then it goes down, tick, 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 into the solar plexus. So it goes through the pineal gland, translated, and the signal is sent into the solar plexus, the gut feeling. Isn't that interesting? So this is where we are feeling what your pineal gland is interpreting. So what you are picking up, like you're watching a movie, and it doesn't make you feel. Guess what? The stomach is tension. This is what you transfer. So when you're picking up, say you're watching a horror movie, you're watching some shit that you shouldn't be, or something that bothers you, right? Or like all this fear porn that's going around on social media. This is going to get you, and these things are out to, the stories is unbelievable. But this is exactly manipulation of people's, because they don't understand. And it's an illusion. It always is fear. So try this. The minute you stop fearing and understand what the darkness is, you'll watch, boom, that fear will absolutely vanish. And there'll be no fear. And you can apologize to poor part of source that you've been refusing to acknowledge, and relax. And the fear will vanish from your existence, and you won't be bothered by any of those thoughts in the first place, only because you're refusing to acknowledge part of source, and you are the one who's perpetuating this battle, what you call battle, whatever you're perceiving as attack, a battle, or whatever, negative thought. It's just because of that. It's because you're refusing, you're resisting, you're fearing it, whatever, and it just keeps coming. Just thoughts, beliefs. So the transceiver's working, and your pineal gland's picking up all these signals, and it's going to your brain, and then it gets transmitted into feeling. So how you interpret it will come into feeling, into your gut. So when you sit there, and that's what I noticed. It was interesting when I did affirmations, joy, and the first place I feel that energy is here, your belly button, around your solar plexus, your waist, around that waistline sort of thing. That's where I feel it, and I thought that's interesting. But, so it comes down there, boop, and you interpret it, the instant, the immediate feeling, the energy, that sense, that it's into your gut. Your gut instinct, that's where that whole thing comes from. But what you are radiating out, what you are feeling, when you feel now. So if you want to know what are you radiating out? When people keep saying drop into your heart chakra. In this thing is very important, because that shows you what you are radiating. So sit down and you feel, drop into the heart chakra and feel, what am I feeling? That's why they say be aware of your feelings. Now this is what you are radiating out. So think about the gut is coming in, that's in, so from the outside, what are you interpreting? is coming into your solar plexus as an emotion. Okay, there we are. What you are radiating out, your auric field, what you are feeling, and this is why people read you, and it is being radiated from you, is coming from the heart. So it goes up, and then how you respond, feel, whatever you feel happy, joy, you radiate that out. It's radiated out from the heart. So that's receiving, there's an incoming, say an in and out switch. Magnetic, right? Polar opposite. So the in is the solar plexus, the out emotion energy is coming from the heart. That's why the heart's torus field is larger. So I feel love. So I asked, I'm sitting practicing, and I said, okay, so what am I radiating? And I was shown 3, because while I was sitting in my meditation doing this, just relaxing, I was shown, they told me 3 things. So then I drop into the heart to feel what I felt, and it was those 3 things, and I was like, wow, bingo. So drop into, when you want to know what you are feeling, that's why they say you must know yourself, know what you're feeling. It's very important to drop into the heart so you're aware of actually what feelings you are holding. Because now if you've watched some crap or whatever you brought in, you've now interpreted that, and if you've hung on to that energy, it's gone up, and this is what you are radiating out. You see, and same with when you do affirmations and you feel that, and you like, when you feel joy, think about it. When I'm feeling happy, how does that heart feel? See, expansion. So this is what it is. That's the in, and this is the out. So there's magnetic field. What's coming in, the emotion I'm expressing is coming out from the heart chakra, and that's what's being radiated out. So this is why often when you read people's energy, like you're doing healing or you're doing whatever it is, and you're pulling in because you're focusing on something different, what they can read, a psychic, is completely different. See? So when you're sitting and reading someone's intentions, or you're reading, whatever, say, checking them out, and if they've got whatever, generally that's the active vibration. So let's say they're doing things, in the war games type of environment. You pretty much, most of the energy is going to be not good. It's going to be dark, and I've seen it's going to be very dark, and that's what they think, what they feel, the dominant energy. And at that time, what they're thinking and feeling, what they're focusing on, is irradiated in their field too. You see, it's fascinating. Bloody fascinating. So I was asking them now which chakras are the most useful to us now, especially at this time, which is it's one of those chakras above your head. People call it the soul star chakra. I saw it as almost like a diamond. Now this is you as an individual aspect. This is what's very active in people now, and this is what you need, and this is what you're using. Because it's coming to get to know you as an individual aspect of source. And this is what's very active in most people now, and people are working through, is that because from the time you're separated from source, right? Whatever your purpose is as a being, we've all got different aspects, we've all got different unique characteristics, unique paths, very different, because we've all done unique. Everyone has interpreted every single thing differently. Every experience, there is no one being, energy, fractal of source that is the same, not one. And the same, that's why you've got an energy signature, which is unique to you and color. Because you have your experience every day, how you interpret everything is different, right? So that is what most people are using right now, that one. That's what they're getting to know. This is where your cash, your past lives, your calling, and all this sort of thing. All the path your soul has taken. So that soul star chakra is from the time, say, you dropped into the first body. Say you decided to be a being, a non-physical energy or physical being, whatever, right? Play physical. So you decided to play physical in the physical game. So whether you decided to be a fairy, a tree, your first life was a E.T. on this, whatever theme you wanted to play out. Yeah. So whatever theme you wanted to play out, right? This is pretty much the path your soul, let's say soul, your fractal, you as a being, as a soul, as an individual, because now you play your little spark in the part of source. Say now you dropped in and your theme was to be like peace, right? you've experienced. To know peace, you've got to know all the other sides. You've got to know from their side. So you've all souls, believe me, you've all been through all things to understand. It's part of your evolution. You have been through all. Huge diversity, wow. Of everything. Experiences, suffering, happiness, joy, this, that. I mean, so pretty much this is what you are reading, and you'll see traits, if it depends how far back you go, how many lives and how many, whatever, planets and whatever. So this is what you are coming to know. Get to know you. And depending on what you're focusing on and where you are now and what your theme is, you're going to be pulling down. You see, some people seem to be focusing on one life more than others. But that's just, who knows, whatever they play. So that's pretty much going to be very important and very much of a huge chakra, which is coming up now, which most people are focusing on. And this is part of your phase we're in now, is to get to know you. This is what they say, be authentic, understand who you are, your unique path as a being, as a soul, your unique direction, your unique wherever you want to go, right? That's that chakra. Very important role it's playing. It's very dominant right now. And the next one, which was which you want to call soul, gateway, where you want to say whatever you want to call it, I can't remember the name. But that is, all it is like, it's like a portal. All that is the gateway to all other, that chakra is like the portal to all other existences and planets and other galaxies. That's all it is. So you can go through that chakra, and that takes you to all the different planets. There we are. In our galaxy. That's that one. Trying to think what else. But that was interesting, realizing how, if you can see, it understands. There's nothing to fear. That's the illusion. Fear is an illusion. Let's say, the darkness that you think is the bad and is the fear. That's the illusion. The minute you stop, you understand what it is, you don't fear it, and the illusion drops away, and you have no fear. And you have no resistance, because you're not fighting yourself, you're not rejecting a part of Source, and you cannot reject a part of who you are in Source. The lesson's going to keep going until you get it, until you're like, oh, okay. And you can't go up either until you do that, because you're rejecting some part, whether it's other people. It will reflect, as within, so without. It's going to be reflected throughout your existence, your interaction to other people, your interaction, yourself, Source, the whole thing. So yeah, so that's interesting. So think about all the signals are coming to your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is sending that message down to your solar plexus to be converted into emotion. That's how you're reading what we say, feeling, energies, emotion. By emotions, we're interpreting it as, ooh, sad, ooh, bad, so it goes with the pineal gland, it's interpreted through the brain, it's sent, that signal goes down to your solar plexus, and your solar plexus is then turning that frequency vibration into an emotion, like a human thing. That's what, the gut feeling, the gut, that's why it's also good to look after your gut. Microbiome in your gut, brain gut axis. They talk about the brain gut axis. There we are. That is the actual role, the link. It's very important. And then what you are feeling. So now whatever you're holding, you interpret to hold that emotion. What you are feeling, you are radiating out. So love. So now I'm focusing, all right? Okay, let's practice. Let's clear my field. So let's clear. You can do this little practice you want as well. So clear your field and resonate. All my energy, frequency, and vibration is in complete alignment with my inner being, my higher self, creative source of all that is. All my energy, frequency, and vibration is in complete alignment with my inner being, higher self, the creative source of all that is. So now you put yourself in touch with Source. Okay, then you can say, I am love. I am love. I am pure love. I feel I'm full of love. I feel such love. Anyway, whatever you work on certain things, right? You clear your field, you work on certain things. Now that energy, because you're activating and you're focusing on it, you keep it up, you are going to radiate out. And that's going to be red as a color or in your auric field as well, you see. So however you're feeling at the moment, if I'm happy, I'm just like, when you're out of the mind, okay, your mind's focusing and you've cleared your mind, so you're not got any active nonsense, because otherwise you've got lots of things active in your field. It depends what's active in the mind, because that goes into that. So you're not focusing on any shit, right? Resistance and oh that and oh this and too much nonsense. It's not too busy, and you're just in peace, and you're in love, and you whatever. That energy, that is that auric field. That's the energy that you are now radiating from the heart chakra out. In, out. Okay. Gut feeling out. There we are. Fascinating. So, but the most interesting thing was the dark, because people have written to me, some people are really battling, right? And I've been in that very dark, when I woke up, wow, I had lots to overcome, a lot of darkness, wow, a lot. And you're fighting it, right? And then anyway, that all disappeared. But I was never shown, I never supposed asked into the detail. You learned, yes, we're all one, and you got into that energy where there was you didn't know judgment, no hate, no discrimination, nothing. You just know everything is love and there is no good and there's no bad, it's just choices. But you didn't quite understand it to that level. Now, if you understand it as energy, this is what we're doing, it's why people are in that. So if you understand that as energy, now the people that are fearing and thinking, they are fearing because they've been told, and believing rubbish and whatever, they haven't got out of their lower chakra yet, worked up their energy, so they're fearing and believing because you're in that darker, denser vibration. You're picking up that vibration, so everything you're watching and resonating with and picking up is in the same vibration, which is all bullshit, dark and all bad and ooh, that's gonna, and these people and these ETs and that yeah. So this is what big fate. So you are like keeping the illusion alive. So by you buying into this and fearing it, you are separating yourself from source. You are holding that frequency, you're resonating it out, you're resisting it. Guess what? More comes to you. You're going to get hammered and hammered and hammered. That's when I said eventually it consumes you. Because you are refusing to accept part of source. You are fearing it, you are focusing on it, so you are activating that non-stop, what you fear, resist. And the minute you realize, because you don't understand, it's just an absent, it's all, there is no bad actually, that we knew, but we didn't understand what it was. So it is just choices. Everything out there is just frequency and vibration. Whatever you choose to tune to, believe, is like selecting it. So I want to play this, and this is the same thing in people's astrals, which you don't realize. And this is why a lot of people are being manipulated. It's very easy to manipulate you when you're waking up, because whatever you believe, think, focus, and fear will be validated in your astrals, you see. So you spread a story through, think about the useful, you spread a story through the collective about these bad ETs that are going to do that, and here to do this, and that, and that, and that. And you watch enough of these videos or see pictures, and you visualize it, internalize this, guess what? Your astrals, your experience, your thing is exactly what you're going to see, feel, and it will be validated. Interesting, huh? Everything is a choice. Everything you create. You see, so it's very useful to spread, so it keeps people not realizing how limitless and that they have absolute control, and nothing is control. Now the Buddhists know. The Buddhists absolutely know this. If any people on the awakening path should be following, is rather learning a bit about the overall Buddhist teachings. Don't have to go and become a Buddhist, but the overall Buddhist teachings and this, because then you know you are being bullshitted and you're being manipulated out there. But most people don't realize they're being bullshitted and manipulated, nor did I in the beginning, because I'm seeing these things and I mean, wow, and I'm experiencing it, woo, because I bought into that story when I first woke up. I was very much in my lower chakras. I didn't know, although I knew something wasn't right. I wasn't like, hey, we don't point fingers. We're not quite, none of us can say for sure. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, anyway, so it's interesting. So you're feeding, whatever you're feeding into the collective, and they are at that frequency vibration, and they haven't worked through this and figured out it's all an illusion and it's just, that's it. you're going to be caught in that thing, and it's going to perpetuate until you learn your lesson. So there we are. I thought I'll share that with you. That was very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Interesting to see and to experience. And you do that, and you're automatically, because they often say fear is absolutely an illusion. It is an absolute illusion, and it's one you're creating. So if you believe there's dark things, and there's bad things out there, and beings out there, and Source is all one. Everything is part of Source, and you have a choice to come and play. Otherwise, what would we going to be doing here? There would be no healers, there'd be no doctors, there'd be none of this. But we'll get there. No, we're going up. We're going to different things. So yes, in the universe there is that, but it's all a choice. So you can choose to be the opposite of light. You can choose to be bad. You can choose to hurt. You can choose anything. It's free will. But it's not the thing that's bad, it's the choice, if you want to say a choice. It's just a choice you make. You see, the energy you choose to hang on to. You can release it just like that as well. Always, everything is in 100% in your control. Nothing has control over you. And I felt very sorry yesterday, because some young man has been following like I did when I woke up all this shit, because I had a lot. I mean, we hadn't done any of the shadow, like serious, dark night of the soul stuff. So when you first wake up, man, you are in that root chakra. So you fall for all this shit. And, with these injection stories, someone read this, and there's a lot of people, because they don't understand, and they haven't been to the other side of the veil, or had a near death, or whatever else, so they have, or risen up, they didn't study Buddhism, they know nothing. They're a normal person from the West, that's why they're being so messed with. And they wake up, and then, oh my gosh, these things are doing that, and they're behind us, and your soul is being that, and can be trapped, and can be... Well, I mean, you're horrified because you think my soul is going to be trapped. I'm going to be stuck here. There's stories, that whole soul trap bullshit that's been fed out. There's so people are thinking these people are good by telling them the truth, and because they're trying to, which is absolute nonsense. Because as you go up, you realize as within, so without. So if you're thinking this. If you believe in all the shit, the darkness, whatever you're saying, ooh, those are the bad guys and that's dark, is within you. You have so much darkness within you. It's being projected out there. There's no shadow work there. But when you first wake up, you have no clue. You haven't got that thing. So you're sitting there and you are buying in this because you haven't done your clearing. You don't know. You haven't risen up through the chakras. So you jump on the bandwagon, and there's things that are trying to do that to me, that fear. And as you say, everything's as within, so without. So people are telling you some really dark and following all this dark, nasty stuff, and saying there's people doing, well, they got to look a bit closer. And you'll be validated, you see. You're just fighting part of yourself, and you're denying part of yourself and Source, but anyway. And it's a choice. It's an absolute choice to do anything. Everything is a choice. It's as simple as that. So people are being manipulated, but that's, what I'm saying, that's normal because those people are in their darkness, so they're spreading their darkness. It's what they see, how they interpret is what's actually in them. That's it. That's exactly how you see the world is true. It's a reflection of what's in you. And they're not accepting, and whatever. Some people are, they're just playing with people. So there we are. So it's a lot anyway, but it's a lesson. Humanity's got a lot of learning. We've got lots of time. It's a lesson. So that is the illusion of it in the first place. The fear itself is the illusion, and as long as you keep buying it and you do that, you're going to stay, you won't be freed from it. What you focus on persists. What you resist, fear, you draw to you, you keep it there. See? That's as simple as that. That's a control. That's a lower chakra again. That's a belief. It's always a belief. You have absolute control. The control's here. Anyway, they'll learn that. Control, when you try and control anybody or anything, the opposite happens. And this is what they'll learn. Have you noticed all the war and all the stuff? And the more you try and push it, the more resistance, the more you see. It's the same thing. Anyway, it's a learning structure. I'm watching this. Whatever they're trying to do, the resistance comes back from the public. The more the public resists, the more they push back. People not notice the pattern here. So if you believe, oh, the earth, this and that, you are creating it. This is why we haven't got the new earth, because we're not at the right people, haven't reached enough. We're getting there, we're nearly through this transition. The energy, and start creating it and projecting out this. Earth doesn't need anyone's help. She needs people to stop projecting her shit and stuff on, and these people will learn. They're in a lower chakra. It's control. And what a lot of people are being fed, a lot of people are always doing what they think is best. What people are being fed is not always the truth. See, it's perception. There's always two sides to the story. And most people are only seeing one side. But anyway, I'm not going to get into sides. That's what I'm saying. There's always two sides to the story. No, nothing is. Everything, you are part of the creator. You'll get there. You actually are, so you're limitless. So whatever you believe, and how it depends on your knowing, is how much, the more you rise up, you say, the more power you'll have, because you understand. You know, as the Bible even told you, intent is metaphor. A lot of metaphors, it's actually written in metaphor, it's written in code like metaphoric. If you have that much faith, which means knowing, there's no doubt whatsoever that mountain will move, it'll move. Humans are going back up there. It's a level of consciousness, which the Buddhists do. Levitate. They know this. Everyone. But no one's been taught this. They've been, but they're being misled because they want to keep you in a lower chakra. And they're telling you those people are the ones doing it. But it's them. They're trying to do this to you. Yeah. It's fair. Anyone that's pushing fear and control just hasn't got there yet. Understanding. It's all consciousness. Anyway, I'll share a screenshot yesterday, which was such a good move. Depending on people's, you got to do your work. And if anything, ask from inside. Always, always, always ask your higher self to show you. Always. Don't ask anybody or believe anything that you've been fed outside. Which is difficult because a lot of people have, but that's just a lesson. They especially pictures, oh, this is what so-and-so looks like, and they look like, and this, and then, yeah. It's very, but it will come out, it will all come out, it will sort itself out as people go up. There we are. That's another thing. You see, you know this once you get, as you go higher and higher. Like I didn't know things back then that I know now. And you keep going up, you keep learning. It's bloody amazing. You can't pray against anything. There's no resistance. What's meant to be will be. You see, we do energy, there's no praying. We've done energy work, plenty on the planet. We've done plenty work on the planet and asked for help. And I don't know when and if it's going to in timeline, I don't know. Could be now this year, could be next year or something, I don't know. See? There we are. Yes, you can ask, but there's no fear. If you ask from fear, that's the thing, it's nothing. It's just a cycle we're going through. A cycle of weather we're going through on the planet. A cycle of change, a cycle of evolution. So some species, like in trees as well, with the change of climate and temperature and frequency and vibration, some, like in all our evolution on this planet, are not meant to be here. They're going to fall away. We'll have new trees, new species, new this. See? So it's just normal. It's part of the cycle. Some will die off because they are not able to evolve, maybe physically, the density of their bodies, whatever. So these certain trees and beings and animals and species will die off, like many have before. So we're changing, the planet's changing, it's evolving. And we're in a cycle at the moment of weather, the same thing, it's a cycle. There's no good or bad in it. If you become one with the wind, you'll understand the wind is just the wind, it's just being, it's what you're supposed to be. You are human. The wind is just being what it is. So these things are opposites, hot and cold. It's almost like magnetic, door to each other. And this is what causes these things. Anyway, interesting. So yeah, of course we can. But at a level of consciousness, what people resist and try and control, as the government will learn, doesn't work. Like anything. You see. So what you project and expect is what you get. This is why you'll notice all of you are being driven more and more to go within. Cut your negative thoughts out. Drop into the heart. Peace, love. You see, stop thinking negatively. Stop listening to the shit. You'll notice as you go up more and more, like, no. You'll stop doing things that are negative for you. Listening to you. You'll do things that are healthy, that are good for you, mind, body, spirit. So then, your body's important because your body is the one that interprets all the frequencies and vibrations. It's your technology. Think of this as your computer. Look after the thing because it doesn't work properly. And stop. Yeah, but anyway, never mind. People are, that's just one of those things, you know what I mean? It's free will. People can choose to play and believe whatever nonsense they want to believe, and this is the fact. And when it's in this time, it's an experience for them. Like we've all experienced many, many lives, and not all of them were. Some of them were really not fantastic, or what you would call as like, oh, it had a part, it played a part, you see. It played a part, and that's why they say the body, yeah. Anyway. All right, people, I thought I'll share that with you. So be careful, because if you want what you think you're doing good, you want good, right? That means no negative thoughts. So you don't think negative about anybody. So someone's having a bad time. You don't keep seeing them there. You see them as healed. Like when we heal people, you see that person, oh, they're going to be good. You see them as getting their dream job, as being out of the trouble that they want to be out of. You see that. And when you think about them, oh no, they're going to be fine. They are fine. Like your affirmations, you see that. Same with the planet, she's fine. So we just, like, did our affirmations, thank you. And you did your food and affirmations and good, and Gaia and see Gaia for the beauty. That's it. You know? Simple as that. Anyway. But we're on a learning curve here. And many are in, as I say, a big curve. Anyway, leave them. Leave them. All right, lovely people. It's late. I've got some things to do. I want to get busy now. I've got quite a lot to do today. But I just thought I'll share that because otherwise I forget. I do meditations, and if I don't come on straight away, affirmations I'm guided to do, but a lot of people, depending on where they are, they'll find the things, say even videos, they resonate. Depends on their level of energy, what they're resonating, and what they will find on their path, that energy, frequency, they'll gravitate as they go up anyway. So as you go up, and you'll be guided to different videos, different people to follow, as you evolve, as you go up in your chakras or in your consciousness. So the ones that are really, I know this started a while ago, and I don't know how far down my TikTok you'll see it, where I said people, we really need to work on self-love, self-esteem, all this stuff, nonsense. So, and a lot of people, you see, it's gone through the collective, but affirmations help, and I keep guided to do these affirmations. So it's lots of little videos I can make of affirmations. It will help people because it shows you the triggers. So if you try and do one of these affirmations, whichever one you're guided, you're drawn to, and it feels uncomfortable, or it upsets you, or triggers you, or emotional response, or you just feel it's so distant, it's like nothing, shows you, then your frequency is very far from that, and you need to do that. And if you get triggered, it shows you where your problem you need to overcome. So it's a good thing, like self-worth, self-esteem. When you say, if you do these affirmations, basically, if you've fixed it, reprogram the mind, and you say, I am worthy, and you should feel yes. If you don't, you need those affirmations. You see, and if it's just like parroting, you're not. That means you're not even on that frequency. So it'll benefit you to do them, to get that frequency. Because when you get to the point, you keep doing it, program the mind, you will feel, I am worthy, and you feel like you're 10 foot tall, then bingo, I've overcome that issue. See? So there's some on the health, on the food, people can take their own, because as you start going up in frequency anyway, then you get into that frequency, then other thoughts, the frequencies which are similar vibration will come in anyway. So you'll be guided to go higher and higher and say more higher frequency affirmations, higher frequency words, higher frequency thoughts, or whatever, you see. That's all it is. So you will automatically, I'm just going to put them out there as like it's like an example, so people can say, like a ding, 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 and they will. I'm not worried, because I know who's ever meant to find your videos and your things, and they do at the right time and the right place, wherever they are. If they need to, if it's in their belief system and they're not, people are going to buy. This is why we're all out there. People are here to experience all different things in the awakening. So some are going to follow, the other end of the stick, because it's free will, and go down the pit down there, and some are going to whatever, and I'm a whatever, who knows. So I don't worry, because I know it's all meant to be. So I put it out as I'm guided, is all I do. And then whoever is going to find it, who needs it, who's going to find this year, next year, 10 years, whatever guidance, whoever needs to find it, that video, whatever and it's in there, they'll find it, and they'll be guided to do it. And it'll be like and then it's like a sounding board. They can use it as a basis. Anyway. All right. I've got jam to make. I was picking blackberries yesterday. I have a lot of blackberries in my fridge. I need to use them now. Hi. So there we are, peoples. I'll upload this to YouTube, all right? But it was really interesting. Now you understand how this energy, frequency, vibration story works in the body. How the system actually is functioning. So the signal, brain, boop, down to the gut, interprets that feeling into like happy, scared, and then how you feel. I am when you feel what emotions you feeling. Exactly. See, you can think one thing, what you're feeling is radiated. That energy, that is going out from the heart chakra. So that's why they say, you want to know how you feel, sit with yourself and drop into your heart. And then you can't, you can feel that. All right. Love you guys. Have a good day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. No, I haven't had any dreams. This is not a dream. This is a meditation. I don't do dreams. That was a meditation. It's on my YouTube. You can go and see that one. Get out of your fear, because you draw things to you by fearing things. Same with your country. Your country, like Atlantis, if people drop enough into the dark, dense frequency and vibration and consciousness, and you as a collective are going to draw shit to you and your country, like Atlantis did, and take itself off the map. So stop. Fear is an illusion. Watch this film, rather. Pay attention to what you believe, feel, and know you are divinely guided. And if you're not meant to be there, you won't be there. Positive thoughts, positive affirmations, and I've said this enough times. I don't participate in that. Okay, those lower frequencies or beliefs or things, because you create your reality. You have the power to change anything. The minute your country picks up its frequency and vibration, your governments are only a reflection of the consciousness held by the people. And it's so clear if you pay attention to what's happening and how you're responding, where you need to do your work in your countries, among your populations, among your people. What needs to be cleared, you know what I mean? And worked through. All right, guys. Bye.